Is it that reason you started a production house also?
Yes, every problem has a solution, and the right manager solves it in the least amount of time. Criminal wastage of money is not a luxury in this country. Every extra money that we have to create quality. See, I believe that a film happens on a table. It doesn't happen on the set. It's not just enough to criticize. We must do what we want to do and create something to show what can be done. Living is not alone, living is with many. So that there was a time when people, a few of my friends, especially it was Vikram Ghosh, he told me something which I always remember. He's the great photographer, Raghuda. You are going to compromise. And people right now have this exposure of OTT. Otherwise, they'll know if you created a film which is more or less, very easily, which can be viewed in television, they'll say that, oh, it will come over in the OTT. I have never broken myself. I have always tried to, rework and become more stronger.
Welcome everyone, I'm Dr. Moon Chattaraj. I'm the prosthodontist, but today I will not be talking about dentistry. Today I'll be talking something else, and we are here beyond the scrubs. We are with Mr. Arindam Sil, the famous director, actor and producer. He has so many facets and so many things, so many color to his life, what he is, and we will be talking absolutely his experience about life, his experience about beyond the cinema, his production also. So Arindam da, welcome to Beyond the Scrubs. And we are privileged to get
edition,
to
and yes. Congratulations to you.
Thank you Arindam da. And we are here to discuss about you, your personality beyond the director as a human being. Everyone want to sketch and see what is Arindam da, who is beyond direction, production, acting. So we want to know about Arindam da, just Arindam da. How would you like to tell yourself about it?
I'm a very simple human being, extremely honest, and that's how I have maintained in my life, maintained myself. There are a few things that have always guided me. Small things like what a teacher of mine taught me when I was in 6th standard. When he used to come to the class every day and when he used to say a quote from Shakespeare, to thine own self be true. That somehow formed my backbone. And yes, other than that, of course, cinema and my love for cinema, and I think I cannot live without cinema. So that's one aspect of mine. I love to roam around. I love music. I love to see the world. I love to meet people. I love to make friends. And I love to give that respect of friendship. I would never break a friendship till the time the other person wants to break away. So I would go beyond my means, beyond even compromises, and try to keep a friendship because I value relationships. I come from a absolutely family of North Kolkata where there used to be about 19 members staying, and it was a joint family. Somehow I've grown up with that, that sense of togetherness, that sense of... We're living in a world where we are so very individualistic. We are thinking of ourselves. We become very self-centered. Always trying to kind of, what is my achievement? How is my dream taking shape? Where am I going off? And that's all about that. I have been taught about, and many of us who've had such kind of exposure have been brought up in such kind of culture that living is not alone, living is with many. So even when I had shifted to apartment, residing in apartments earlier also, and even now where we stay in the same apartment. So I become part of the community, and so I participate in all kind of programs and pujo and everything, and whatever time that I would try and participate. That's all. And I'm a very family-oriented person. People who work with me, they know it very well that, even when I'm shooting, as soon as I say pack up, my car has to be ready, ought to be ready, waiting for me. By the time I say pack up, and by the time I get into my car, it's a matter of 2 minutes, not more than that. And I would say bye to everybody, and I would hop into the car, and the car straight come take me to where. So even when I'm not shooting, I'm with my family and friends. I am not that kind to enjoy all by myself. So I'm a very gregarious person. What more?
Yeah, I know about it, and I have also experienced and seen that one bacon call, you're always ready to help me. Like, this is my personal experience, that I was ever, whenever I call you, you're always there. Now let's go to some small silly questions to you. That Arindam, Father Felix Raj has been my patient too, and he always speaks about you in a big way, and you were a good student. You finished your college in BCom, you had a finance background, you did MBA also, and then you started, post-graduation, and you started PhD also.
I got through for my PhD in the University of Florida, Miami, and didn't pursue it because
Yes.
I wanted to become an actor.
I mean, with such an experience and such an exposure of your education background, you just left everything for your passion.
I've always taken chances in life, I've taken challenges, and I've loved doing that. Not for the heck of it, but because I felt that you should live by the call of your heart. You should live the way your heart wants you to. It's just one life, and that's very important. So you'll realize that for you, if you don't enjoy the profession that you would follow, it would become very difficult. I felt grace of God and grace of cosmos that few of us are able to follow the way we follow our own profession, the one which we love, the one which we want to. So yes, it so happened I was start from Father Felix Raj, and even before that, Father Matthew and Father Malikal and Babu Bakers and Father Fuert and all of them, St. Xavier's College. They are the people who have a lot of contribution in my life, and they are the people who have absolutely changed me as a human being. So when I was in college, Father Matthew, in fact, called me over and said, "Hey, I constantly see you roaming around in the college," because I was in BCom, and our BCom classes used to be over by 9:40, and I used to be there all throughout the day. So I had friends in every department. I see you roaming around. Why do you waste time? Why don't you do something? Why don't you do something for the college? I said, "Yes, Father, I'm ready to do." So why don't you start a business? You have so much of time. You get into, why don't you do the printing of the college? And that's how, and my grandfather, my mother's father, he had a printing press, and it was grown old and he wasn't taking care of it. It was lying idle. So I went over to him and I said, "I want to take this over, and I want to work, and I will give you a percentage and all these things." And then it started off, and I started off with Xavier's, and then at one point of time, I was almost doing the printing of all important colleges and schools in Kolkata.
Wow.
And tell you very frankly that I have always kind of done things on my own, never been a parasite, or never. I was giving tuitions from class 9 and simply because I wanted the money to buy books, and I have been in love with books right from my childhood. Whether if you come to my house, whether you come to my office, you'll always find a library all around. I'm surrounded with books, and I am a voracious reader, and it started off from those times. So that was a time when I used to get 70 rupees for a tuition in a month, and out of which the moment I used to get that, I used to run off to college and buy at least 50% of that book. I used to buy books, and the rest I used to keep for small things.
So that was the base for your this cinema, because you had so much of knowledge about different things that you can implement that.
I always say that reading is very important. Watching films is also very important. Keeping your eyes open is very important, to see the world, to appreciate the world, to have a heart to do that. And then, I'll make it very short that from there on, I was extremely associated with my college. I was adjudged one of the best students on its 125th year. I was given a medal. It's still there at my home. And that brings in a lot of nostalgia. And but as I said, college taught me many things, and then I could never. I'm extremely associated and active with my college alumni also. Xavier's College alumni, St. Xavier's College alumni. Kolkata is adjudged as the best alumni in the country, and I'm still active with that. So I couldn't leave my college behind. It's always been part of my life, always. And then from there on, yes, I went on to do my MBA. I did it in marketing, but I went into the finance sector. I was into funds management, then I moved over into foreign exchange, and it was about 7-8 years of my life, and a lot of things had happened. By then, my first marriage didn't work, and that also is the same reason that one particular thing I felt that I'm being hypocrite to myself and to the other person. It's not just right. And so we parted ways, the effects of which might not have been very savory, but that wasn't from my part. I had always wanted a gentlemanly and sober exit. But then I did it because I didn't want to do each other wrong, and I didn't want to waste the rest of our lives. And then later on, Shukla came into my life, and it was he who one particular day told me that, look, I don't think you are interested in your job, and I'm also doing a job, and I think we can support the family. Why don't you try out yourself? And that's when I plunged totally into the world of acting. But
so that was at the age of 33.
Yeah, but before that, of course, what happened was I got through many years back. I got through for my PhD,
Yes.
and by that time I was already acting. After I did my MBA, I got through, and I had become an actor.
Your first movie was Haranushur.
No, movie was later. First I did was television.
Okay.
And it was called a series called Halka Chukechal. And in those days we never had daily soaps. It was like weeklies, and one episode of 20 to 25 minutes we would shoot for 6 to 7 days.
Oh.
Yes, and I still remember my first remuneration was 400 rupees for playing the protagonist in this thing, Halka Chukechal, this episode called Poisha. So anyway, but that was the time. From there on, we have come to a time when we shoot in daily soaps. They shoot about 30 minutes a day, which is more than one episode a day. So we have compromised with quality for
absolutely.
the sake of a lot of things. And
because I remember when I was very, very young, I used to watch serials with my grandmom those time, and those were really very good. But now, I don't know. I have ever put on a TV for a serial.
In Bengali, we've had some incredible content which are still talked about in all parts of the country. Serials like Akakashe Niche, and I remember that Ravi Oja was directing, and I had joined it, and so the first day scene that we were shooting, he took 19 takes, and we started in the morning and we ended in the evening, and then he went on and said, now it's working, let's do this. So that was the kind of precision. But right now, if a director does that, he'll be thrown away. He won't get a job anywhere in the industry. So that's how we have compromised with quality and standards. Anyway, so to cut the long story short, then I started my career as an actor, and as I was telling you, so I had always kind of had this thing of taking chances and challenges, and I gave up my job, and when I gave up my job, it was a very kind of a, I was getting a...
You were well established,
I
actually.
was getting a huge salary. Very few people in those days got the kind of salary I used to get. And I gave it up and said, okay, let's do it, and plunged into being an actor. And then while during this time of my being an actor, I started thinking and discussing with a few seniors like Anjan Datta and all that, we are not doing or creating the right kind of content in cinema. So that was a time when Bengali television was up there, and the kind of content that was, as you said, they were really good. The kind of telefilms that used to happen in Bengal cinema was incredible. They were super. And in fact, today, most of the established directors, actors, were the then who used to work in television. And so cinema at that point of time was taking a jolt, and we discussed amongst ourselves that it's not just enough to criticize. We must do what we want to do and create something to show what can be done. Like I very often say this, that roz jodi tomake khichuri khawai, so you won't know the taste of biryani. So, you have to be given a better quality.
Is it that reason you started a production house also?
Yes, of course, I'll come to that. But first, what we did was this film called Akmoto Chobi, where 6 directors, 6 stories. We all got together, we kind of brainstormed, and we did this film. We did this film for 40 lakhs. I myself were in charge of production, and myself. The directors were Anjan Datta, Indranil Roy Chaudhary, Prabhat Roy, Partho Sen, Kaushik Ganguly. So we did that film for 40 lakhs. I'm talking about 2005, 4-5, and we got back 44 lakhs. Okay. But we were happy that we were able to do what we wanted. The kind of cinema that we wanted to create. Ananda kept on telling me that, Arindam, we don't have an executive producer out here in this place, and you have all the requisites of a good executive producer. Why don't you take over? And that's how we did Bomb Connection, the first Bengali movie to be shot abroad in United States. And we stayed at Houston for about 1.5 months, and 50% of the film was shot there, and 50% out here. And it was like all of us, we did a guerrilla shoot, like Poromroto, Raima, Shayan Munshi, all of us were there, and I was the executive producer, I was the manager, I was carrying the lights when required. I was doing all kind of things, and Parambrata would give the shot and then go back behind the camera and shift the light from here to there. That's how we were just 7 of us who went from Kolkata, and we did the film out there. And then people started saying, "Oh, this is a different kind of cinema. This is a kind of a real urban cinema." And that's when Aniruddha Chaudhary was also doing. He did Onuranam. Such kind of cinema started off. Prior to that, it was I'm living the time of Ray and Dorun Majumdar and Dr. Chico. But then Aparna Sen she was doing her films. Ritu Parna Ghosh has come in. Other than just a few films, nobody was talking about Bengali cinema. But then this rush came. A lot of good films started happening. And I got interested in production. And then I was picked up, I started production out here in Kolkata for Hindi films. But believe you me, when I started production, there was nothing of its sort, methods, anything for doing production. You know how production used to happen? The production manager used to give a piece of paper and artist so much, camera production so much, food so much, and he would add it up and give and say, "This is the budget." I have seen that. I was the first person, and that's because of my educational background.
Absolutely.
How it helped me is that I created the first Excel sheet for a budget, and when I created that, people looked at it and said, "What is this?" I mean, which counted everything to the minutest detail, and till date, that is the format which is followed. Okay, that's the whole thing. The minutest detail for the number of hours that a generator would run, and the oil, diesel that would be used up, and so the expenses. The whole sheet had various sub-sheets, and
Details were there.
Details and expenses were broken up. So the production people came over and said, "But Dada, amra to erakom kokhono korini, we haven't done anything like that." When I asked them that you should write a voucher and give a supporting for every expenses, said, "Amra to kokhono eta korini." So then I said, "Money, I'm giving the money right now. I'm doing the film, so it will have to be my way." And that's how it started off, and that's how the industry, started becoming professionalized. And it makes me very happy that, Rituparna Ghosh or Prosenjit Chatterjee, even now he keeps telling that your contribution to Bengali cinema has been incredibly good. But it's like that we all put in our bit. We have all put in our bit to create a world of cinema for ourselves. Maybe at places we have gone wrong, maybe at places we have missed the bus, but whatever we are is an effort of years of how very seriously we wanted to kind of recreate Bengali cinema. So I had then by that time gone into production. I was doing this, and then I had my thing of to understand everything. Even when I was acting, I used to notice how lighting is being done. I used to request my director that I would want to come over and want to kind of see you edit the film, and I would go and sit and just observe. It's been days after days and years that I kept on doing this. What happened out of it is that nobody could beat me in preparing a budget, in handling a production, because I knew how every aspect. So right now when I do my cinema, I am perfectly aware of what exact budget that film is going to. And if anybody comes and tells me, okay, but we can do this way, so I exactly know what answer to give, and I do have a solution for everything. I believe one thing, that this is another thing which I have always believed in life, and that's what my management classes have taught me, that every problem has a solution, and the right manager solves it in the least amount of time.
But in contrary to this, I would like to ask you, sometimes, because you are a very, very creative person, so sometimes does it happen that your creativity, your want of the subject had restricted the budget in making a film of that kind?
That quite happens. That quite happens because we are restricted to a certain kind of budget in Bengali cinema. We don't have the kind of money that's wasted in national level cinema, in cinema, because when I was handling Hindi films, I've seen that that's abysmal, and at times I've felt that everything is ready, actors will come in late, or the director is not in a mood. All such kind of things happen. I don't want to take names. If I take names, you won't believe, you'll get shocked that that's how I believe that criminal wastage of money is not a luxury in this country. We shouldn't do that. Rather, we convert every extra money that we have to create quality. Okay, and that's always something that I do. That's why my films, a 2 crore film would look like a 3 crore film, and it's very easily done. I know the process of doing it. And people often ask me, even Mumbai and all, they have asked me that, how do you make this film, this kind of film in such a budget? So I said, everything is possible. If you see, I believe that a film happens on a table. It doesn't happen on the set. So you ought to be extremely aware of everything. Your whole homework has to be done, and when you go to the floor, even your actors should know what they are. They should be the character, they should not be the actor. So on your floor, when you are there, the actors should be characters. Your DOP should exactly know the kind of lighting is to be done. Everybody in place exactly knows what scene is being done, and that is the reason why even today I give narration for my film, the script. I give a narration of the script with everybody, with my whole unit, and that's how I start my cinema. Every cinema that I do, I get everybody involved, even my hairdresser to my production guy, and they will have to sit through and hear me out on the script, and they will have to understand what I'm trying to do, and then I would explain to them how I want to treat this film. For example, my recent film Kolkata. So my whole unit was that we would be shooting in the rains, and they looked up at me. The whole film, I said, yeah, from the start to finish, the whole film would be in rains. Okay, so my production manager knew that rain machine had to be kept there, and then I told them, because of my production background, I told them, so we'll be shooting on the streets. I want raincoats for each and every technicians. So even before we started the shoot, that was budgeted, because I wouldn't allow my technicians to, get wet. They are also human beings. They have they must have the proper right to be treated the way they should be. And we all work like a family, especially my set. So that there was a time when a few of my friends, especially it was Bikram Ghosh, who first kept saying that, Arindam, you should start directing, you should start. And he kept on at it, till the time I started doing. And he gave me a big push to become a director, and that's how when 2012 we did Aporto.
Yes.
But the script of Aporto I was doing from 2010. It was, the story was mine, and Atanu Ghosh, Vandana Dasgupta and myself, all three of us got into scripting it. And actually I had selected Joya Ehsan in 2010. And for 2 years I used to write a scene and then call her up. And those days we didn't have, the cell phones were very costly. And I used to call her up on a cell phone, and I used to read out the scene. We used to discuss the scene and all those things. And by the time 2012, when we went into shooting, I have spent a couple of lakhs maybe in just phone call charges, but we did it. And when I see Joya coming for the first shot, she was absolutely charu. She was absolutely charu in front of the camera. I didn't see Joya. So that's how I would make my actors prepare, and even today I do that. Right from the time I'm conceiving an idea, writing the story with my writer, that's when I do my casting. I start speaking to them. I start telling them, okay, look, today I've given a new twist. I've done this. I'm doing this. So all kind of things. So and that's how we keep on developing. And I find this an excellent process of developing my actors, my technicians, everybody being together, and that's how we become a family when we are working. And believe you me, when we are shooting in my floor, there's no mobile. You will never hear anybody speaking on mobile, or you will never hear the mobile ringing. You will never smell anybody smoking, and you'll never hear anybody speaking loud. It's like pin drop silence. And I would tell them that, the way we enter a temple, this is our temple. And this is the best way to offer our puja. And we have to keep that place secret. And so it's often told that even the smallest characters in my film they look so complete. There's a process, we don't get years, but definitely I take this whole process of 4 to 5 months with my actors, with my technicians, before I go into shooting of the film. And that reflects.
Yes, that reflects in all of your movies. I just want to ask you, Arindam, because you have taken a skyrocketing success after Abar Shobor and Shobor series, to tell you. And especially the movies, the mystery movies you make, those are bang on, and those are the most incredible. So do you want to stick to one type of subject only?
I haven't. Actually, I started off with Aborto, which wasn't a thriller. But then when I was already trying to do my second film, there was this thing in the air that thrillers, one have to do thrillers. And then I was reading the story of Shishendu Irene. I came upon it and I said, one can make a film out of this. So it was about Shobor Das Gupta, this Lal Bazar detective, CID officer and detective department officer, and his way of breaking through a case. I found it, the way Shishendu have written all his Shobor stories are on a question-answer form. They are not, novel kind of thing, but they're in question-answer form. So I felt there's a lot of cinema in it, and I wanted to explore Kolkata. I wanted to create a real life Rokto Mangsher একজন পুলিশ অফিসার of flesh and blood. And so everything, all ingredients of Shobor are very Kolkata and very Shobor. You can't make Shobor in Hindi. I have had offers, but that thing won't be there. Shobor is so Bengali, and it's so very Kolkata, and all those small nuances and everything that we did, and that's how we created. And the way we shot the film, I must talk about one person who's just passed away, and he told me something which I always remembered. He's the great photographer Raghu Rai. So I was sitting with him one day and we were having lunch, and I asked him that, Sir, could you tell me, how do you create so much of life and drama and energy in every shot of Kolkata that you take? So he looked at me and smiled and said, it's very simple, Arindam. All you need to do is take a wide lens, go and sit it on any part of Kolkata, any corner of this city, any street. Just go with a wide lens and shoot. You'll find life, energy and drama in every frame of yours.
But many people do not know that you are an amazing photographer. An amazing.
It is perhaps my kind of influence of incredible number of world cinema that I've watched right from my young days. And there was a time I started watching Godar when I wasn't of that age to understand Godar, but I would sit through, and I would keep on watching, trying to understand, trying to make sense. And whether it's a Godar or a Truffaut or a Fellini or Angelopoulos or anybody for that matter, I slowly got hooked into world cinema, and used to be there at the film festivals always. Right now things are different. It's very easy because I'm part of the Apex advisory committee of the Kolkata International.
You are the president of...
No, but president is Gautam Ghosh.
Okay.
But I'm the member of the Apex advisory committee. So, but the thing is, I take a lot of interest in shaping the Kolkata International. Few of us get together and always decide it everywhere. But the thing is, there was a time when I wouldn't get a delegate card. So we would stand in a line in New Empire when Chandan Sen, Indrani Hall, Kharaj Mukherjee, all of us used to stand in a line, and all what we wanted to watch was Kieslowski's Three Colors. And first time we saw a short film about killing, and like we weren't being able to speak to each other after the film got over, and I said, oh God, this is what cinema is. And those frames, an Ozu film, the way he would sit his camera at one corner and let it happen. Or Tarkovsky, who would go on, taking those tracks. All this different great filmmakers, and later on then Kim Ki-duk, whose every frame is a painting. I would walk into a Kim Ki-duk film to see a series of great paintings of a master, one after the other. It gives you those goosebumps while watching. Oh, this is also so. My inspirations have come from there. My inspirations have come from the photographs of Raghu Rai, from the paintings of Vikas Bhattacharya, and that's how my frames are inspired.
Do you think, Dada, that like Hindi movies, like we say sets like Sanjay Leela Bhansali or Rajamouli, like Bengal also should have something like that, larger than life, only because of the money and the production, it is not able to happen.
I have a script lying for over the last 3 years. I wanted to make a huge magnum opus in Bengali, but not getting producers. The thing is, what happens is, after a certain point of time, you have to be aggressive. You have to think big. And it's just because Bangla cinema is not giving the numbers, let's make a lower budget film. That is not the thing. The more you become strict on the budget, the more you are going to compromise. And people right now have this exposure of OTT and cinema. The same day a film that is launched in New York is the same day that we could get to see here out here. So the world has become very small, and the exposure is huge. The noir films, the Nordic film, series, everything. So think of it that we have to create our cinema within a certain very restricted budget, but where we have a Dhurandhar
it's very sad.
And a Karpur, see a Dhurandhar over crores and crores have been spent,
yes.
and my film is 2.5 crores, and I'm having to fight that out. But we did fight out. Karpur has been really praised by its audience,
and it's a most hit and successful movie. So
it has really been accepted, and people right now, there are people from New Zealand calling me up and saying that we want to screen your film because we've heard so much about it. People from UK is calling me up, so somewhere definitely it works. But I don't want to talk much about my films, but yes, coming back to what we were discussing, is that we have to create larger outcomes. Another thing is, which is extremely important, is the difference between the large screen and the OTT screen. OTT content is viewed on your mobile phone till your television screen. Television screens can be small to bigger, but up to an extent. But cinema is about that huge screen. So where we are going wrong is perhaps we are trying to create content which would fit the OTT or television and trying to call them cinema. Now, because of COVID and because of everything that happened, OTT became extremely popular, and it took off like that. And so another form of content viewing other than television came into being. It became extremely popular, and it became a part of our lives. So nowadays it's become a very simple thing that what did you watch yesterday? It's like we regularly do watch something. As before this, I just came and said, okay, yesterday I watched this on Amazon Prime. So this is a regular discussion topic.
But do you think that OTT is hampering the cinema,
what I want to say is, you have to differentiate between the content that you create for OTT and you create for cinema. So if you have to create for the big screen, it ought to be big. Then only people will come out of there. Otherwise, they'll know if you've created a film which is more or less, very easily, which can be viewed in television, and your television set, they'll wait. They'll say that, oh, it'll come over in the OTT and we'll watch it.
So you were telling me...
So viewing patterns are changing. A lot of viewing patterns are changing. You see, we have been through a huge transition in our lives, like starting off with that valve transistors, where it used to get heated and then the radio used to turn on, and from there on, I always used to think, are there people inside like inputs who speaks from inside? When I was a kid, and every Saturday there used to be those audio dramas, and I would skip my books, and my grandfather used to listen, and I would go below the bed. He used to have those tall beds with the 4 posters, and so I used to go below the bed and sneak just to listen to the drama, while everybody else in the family was sleeping. Growing up in a joint family has a lot of
advantage. Yes.
And, a whole lot of things you could do, you could have fun, and children are becoming very restrictive now. Working parents children is kind of, I'm just swaying away from the topic, but I always feel that is a very important subject that we should talk about, is the children are getting neglected. They are becoming very lonely and, staying in nuclear families. What we are always trying to do is just give them a mobile, okay, and you kind of play with your mobile, play a video game, play this. But the thing is, that is indeed hampering in creating, in the kind of, shaping them up. They're becoming extremely, extremely lonely people, and from this loneliness, depression is happening. From this loneliness, spurts of anger is happening. All kinds of reactions are happening. I was just reading this book, which I always talk about, is called An Anxious Generation by Jonathan Haidt, where he basically talks about how our childhood have shifted from play-based childhood to mobile-based childhood, and how it's really harming in creating whatever Gen Z or whatever we are naming them, but they are not the new generations. The new generation ought to be taken with, handled with a lot of care and guidance, and they are going haywire. They need to be given a kind of every human being, I believe, has a kind of talent, and that talent ought to be guided. It requires certain kind of guidance and the right path, without which it will not take shape. It's just like a plant. If you don't give it the right sunlight and the light, it won't grow, it won't bloom. So the same thing is for our children. And, not just our children, we ourselves are becoming, as I started off saying, we ourselves are becoming very self-oriented people, and that's why we are.
That's why I think depression, loneliness,
all those things are happening, and also anxiety. Another.
Yes.
Are these the words that we ever?
When I was small, I have never ever heard about it.
Anxiety and depression. We never knew what these words were when we were young, but right now these are becoming very common words. And every second person need to go and
the movies and the contents are also coming like that, because they are reflecting the society. Might be something like that, we can say. Now
that makes content creation more responsible.
Yes.
They have to create more responsible stuffs about its life. Cannot be just about entertainment and entertainment. I create a sequence just like that to see somebody playing football with the head of a human. I mean, I don't know. It's gross.
It's gross. It's atrocious. For
that violence.
For a psychology point of view, it's
that kind of violence might hurt. So, like we say, cigarette is injurious to health, alcohol is injurious to health. We need to understand that as responsible filmmakers, what we are trying to do, we have to be extremely responsible for the kind of content that we are creating.
Going to my next question, actually, Dada, you started with a scratch, and you have paved your way through it. There were all ups and downs in your life. You have reached to the pinnacle of the success, and still might be there a political pressure, or might be the peer pressure, might be the success which was there. There are a positive and a negative side of it. You have also gone through many controversies and all. How you have handled it? Is it have broken you, or made you a stronger personality out of you? And what was the experience? How you came through it?
I have never broken myself. I have always tried to, rework and become more stronger. And definitely my family and my friends, the very few close friends whom I have, and my immediate family, my wife and my daughter. We have some incredible support, and everybody in life goes through ups and downs, but certain things like wrongs, framed up wrongs, they hurt a lot. But people understand, the truth always prevails, and so all that keeps me going is my meditation, and there have to be some inner calm in yourself. You have to create that. You have to understand that you know about your answerability to cosmos, so you keep speaking to cosmos every day. And the thing is, you cannot lie to cosmos. So if you are truthful, cosmos will take care of you.
I have seen you from past 10 years, and to tell you truth, it's from my heart. I have seen you reaching the success day by day, have made you very humble, have made you very, very down to earth and more, towards the people.
What is it that should not, as a human being, what I said is I'm a simple person. And to be rooted is the most important thing. Whether for an individual, whether for an organization, whether for a political party or for a government, if you ever get derooted, if you forget your roots, if you move away from your roots, your decline have to happen. You just see such examples in governments happening. Everywhere it happens. And I have had the great opportunity of meeting and coming across hugely successful people, and I've always found them to be incredibly humble. They have taught me to be what I try to be, and it's very important. I believe all of us are achievers, and I am in a profession that has added glamour to it. That's all about it. I mean, you in your work field have achieved so much. So that the thing is, what is it extra that I should feel about? I mean, like I really don't know. I don't want to give out examples, but the kind of.
But I could just tell that you being my neighbor, just one bacon call, any problem, you're always there. So such a humble, such a down-to-earth personality, being so successful in life is a rare combination in nowadays. It's a rare combination.
But success will only come to you if you are respectful about your surroundings, about the world and about cosmos.
Thank you so much, Arindam, for giving us time and knowing you so well in this podcast, which is not even regular people know about your life, your childhood, your education. And thank you so much for...
Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I wish you all the very best
in
this endeavor of yours. And you're a doctor, you are in a different profession, but as I always keep on saying that go by what you really want to do. There are other aspects in your life which you would want to pursue, and you are doing that, and that's so good. You are doing contributions. That's wonderful.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Dada.